I'm William Zinsser, and on this tape I'm going to tell you some things that I know will help you to write. Things I've learned in my own work as a writer, and as an editor, and as a teacher of writing, and that are in my book on writing well, which is an informal guide to writing nonfiction, writing about the world we live in. This tape has nothing to do with fiction, with novels or short stories or poems or plays. My book has helped a tremendous number of people of all ages and in all kinds of work to write well and with confidence and with enjoyment. And I know I can also help you. Almost all of us have to do a certain amount of writing just to get through the day, more than we realize. And almost all of us approach the task with a certain amount of fear, or quite a lot of fear, or at least a certain amount of anxiety. Fear of writing is planted in most people at an early age, often by the English teacher who tells us we don't have a gift for words. So a lot of people go through life paralyzed from doing useful work or from doing even the simplest kinds of writing just because they never learned how to express themselves in writing comfortably. But writing is not a special language that's owned by the English teacher, a gift that some people are born with and others are not. Writing is thinking on paper. Anybody who thinks clearly should be able to write clearly. Writing is a craft, not an art. Often it's raised to an art, but 99% of the time it's a craft, and an honorable one, like carpentry, like plumbing, with its own set of tools, which are words. And like all tools, they'll do the job if they're used right. There's no subject that can't be made accessible to an ordinary reader by writing good English. Many people think they can't write about their field without using its jargon or its technical vocabulary. But if you learn to use the language simply and warmly, and you can, you'll be able to make any subject clear. However complicated you may think it is, it can be reduced to good English just by putting one sentence after another. I don't mean that it's easy. It's not. Writing is hard. Nobody in America seems to realize this. Professional writers are always being approached by people who say they'd like to try a little writing sometime, meaning when they retire from the hard thing they're doing now, like banking or insurance. Or they say, I could write a book about that. I doubt it. It may seem unkind to tell you that writing is hard. I think it should be a consolation. I'm always amazed by how many people assume that professional writers just sit down to write and whatever they want to write comes right out. On the contrary, the longer most writers write, the more they rewrite, the more they fiddle, trying to finally say exactly what they want to say with as much freshness as possible. So if you find writing hard, it's because it is hard. It's one of the hardest things people do, because it requires logical thinking. And we all know how hard that is. Writing's hard for everybody. Very few sentences come out right the first time, or the second time. A clear sentence is no accident. On the other hand, getting that sentence right on the third try or the fourth try is a great satisfaction. When you get all your sentences together, one after another, saying something clearly that you want to say, in a voice that sounds like you, that's an achievement you can be very proud of, and one that I think you can learn very quickly. Remember, writing is not a contest. All writers are starting from a different point and are going to a different destination. They're also going at different speeds. So whatever you're trying to write, don't worry about what anybody else is writing. Writing is a transaction between two people, you, the writer, and the person who's reading what you've written. Writing is talking to somebody else on paper. So your only real contest is with yourself to master this craft.